Welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading, guys. Today is December the 11th, 2022, and today I'm going to be discussing three blue chip stocks that you need to watch this week. I'm also going to be looking at the S&P 500, where we left off last week, and what my targets are going into the new week. We also do have the Fed meeting on Wednesday. That does hold a lot of weight. I'm going to be discussing that. The three stocks that I've mentioned are Tesla, Apple, and Amazon, all at critical levels. I'm going to be discussing those targets, what you should look out for, and what are the fundamental news behind those moves. All right. So before we get started, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe to this channel as we do release these videos every Sunday for our members. Our members at Wealthy Mentor Trading, we do have a Discord channel that we do have a $49 winter promo that everything that we're discussing today is included. We do swing trading, options trading, day trading, along with market analysis in the morning to get you prepped and ready to go. The link is in the description for that. Please check us out. With that being said, I do have the S&P 500 chart here, and as you guys been watching and following along, I was looking for a continued move above that 40-50 area to test 41.25 to start this trend change, right? We also have been in this downsloping trend line, and my biggest concern was getting that follow through, and unfortunately, we didn't get that. We left off down at 39.30, which is just above the 9 EMA, which is pretty healthy. That is bullish still. It was a retracement and not too bad of a retracement. So we are still holding 39.30 at 9 EMA. We also have support here at 3900, where I will definitely be watching this week after the Fed meeting on Wednesday. It's with regards to the interest rates hike. We could definitely see an interest rate hike depending on the inflation numbers, right? So Fed Powell did mention that last time that he will be taking it step by step, and the market's going to be at a standstill pretty much this week until Wednesday around 2 o'clock, where the Fed decision gets released. So on a bear standpoint, guys, if we do break below 3,900 and they do increase interest rates and pretty much the market reacts to that, we could definitely see a downturn towards 3,800 and 3,650, pretty much coinciding with this downhill slope, heading lower in a staircase pattern. Now, on a bull side, we could definitely see a pop all the way to 4,100, which is where we got that rejection, and further move towards 41.25, which I will be looking at in a bull case scenario. Overall, like I mentioned, the markets are going to be at a standstill, so expect some low volume for the first few days until the Fed decision comes up. And as you guys know, the Fed decision comes out and there's a lot of volatility. I always instruct students to stay patient during those times, let the chips fall, and look for that overall direction the next day, which is where the market will definitely give us clues on where we're heading into the whole December month. I know a lot of us were hoping for that Christmas rally, and that is still possible. And we are still holding that 9 EMA. So stay positive, and we shall see what happens with the Fed meeting. We also have a slew of economical information with regards to initial job numbers, which do hold a lot of weight following the Fed decision the next day. So keep your eyes on that, as the market can definitely turn this week. It is one of those important weeks to see what the overall conditions and where it's going to lead us to, not only in December, but also into quarter one going into 2023. All right. So as I did mention, I do have three stocks that are important to me, three blue chip stocks that you need to watch that are approaching critical levels. The first one being Tesla. Now, Tesla has been consolidating, as you guys do know, around that 180 level, and that's my biggest concern right now. We are in a down slope again. You know, we had the 9 EMA pointing down. We followed multiple rejections below $200, and obviously we've held that 180 line for 3 weeks, closing just above it. So I am looking for a continued move lower to test that 168 level, where we had already a bounce twice. And as you guys know, the more times you test a support zone, the weaker it gets. And then we get follow through going down. Now, if we do get a follow through going down, targets are 168 and 155 respectively. 155 coincides with this cluster right here when we broke out back on 2020. So guys, you know, that's the bear case scenario. On a best bull case scenario, I could see Tesla moving up to 200 to 206 to test this resistance line and the down sloping 9 EMA. From a fundamental standpoint, we do have some bullish things. It did deliver a record 100,000 plus China built EVs during November, which is bullish. And normally, news like that fundamentally during a bull market, it would lead to higher price action. Unfortunately, right now, everything's kind of muted just because the market conditions aren't so good. And people are not into the whole risk on assets during this time, during a recession. People tend to be more thrifty with their money. So Tesla is definitely seeing some hard times with respect to the charts. And I could see a move going down this week even lower. Best bull case, as I mentioned, is that 200 to 206 line. All right. Next name that is important to me as well, that is Apple. AAPL, one of the biggest names in the S&P 500, had a tough week, right? Had a tough week. We have been consolidating below that 150 line, multiple rejections, and now we are below that 9 EMA. All signs to me point for a move lower to test that 138, 134 line. Obviously, we've had three touches of that area where bulls did step in at 134.5, guarding that line. As I did mention, the S&P 500 is going to be on a standstill. That Fed decision is going to bring clarity. Names like Apple is one of the most biggest names that is going to get affected by it. As you guys do know, Apple does tend to run with the markets, and almost everybody and their grandmothers and their grandfathers owns Apple stock. So 138, 134, high probability that we do move lower based on a Fed decision, a bearish Fed decision. On a bullish Fed decision, we're looking at a move towards 150, and that's where I'll be looking at for my entries. A break above 150 for targets of 154 and 157 respectively. Again, that was an area of rejection, but it gets us above the 9 EMA and it gets us above the 150 resistance area. So definitely look above 150 if you're a bull. Now, if you're a bear, you're expecting further price decline towards 134. All right. Now, from a fundamental standpoint, Apple CEO Tim Cook said that Apple will be building chips in the US for the first time in nearly a decade. That's pretty cool, pretty bullish. They're going to be working with TSM, another semiconductor stock. Check that out. And that's pretty bullish, right? But unfortunately, like I said, the market conditions just get the last laugh. The Fed decision is the big hurdle right now that you guys should all be watching. And Apple looks like it's heading lower. All right. Next name that is important. Another blue chip stock, another heavy hitter. Amazon, AMZN. Again, guys, much like the other two stocks, we are pointing for a lower move, right? We do have Amazon here. We do have the COVID lows at 81.50. We are consolidating in a bear flag formation on the weekly. And we guys know that this is the flagpole right here. This is the flag pennant right here. And a move lower usually breaks down, right? So I'm looking for a test of 81.50, similar to what we had right here during the whole pandemic drop. And we also have the next term short-term target at that $73 area. Again, Amazon, from a fundamental standpoint, they do have some bullish information. Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Oracle were all awarded cloud contracts with the US Department of Defense, which is pretty great. And that was combined for a value of $9 billion. Like I said, guys, like stuff like this during a bull market, it would catapult names like Amazon higher. Unfortunately, the overall grand schematics of the S&P 500, we are in a bear market, unfortunately. And until Fed Powell comes out and says that interest rates are going lower and, you know, inflation is being curbed and blah, 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 we are going to head lower in the short term. So I'm definitely watching those two lines. On a bull case scenario, we could see a move all the way to 100, 101. Unfortunately, we do have that 9 EMA acting as resistance as well. So we not only have resistance from up here, from the consolidation before on the way up, that's resistance. And we also have the 9 EMA along with the market conditions. So we have three strikes working towards us, and it's not looking good. However, the Fed gets a last laugh, so Wednesday is that big day. So you definitely should be watching the whole Fed decision along with the overall outcome of what we can expect going into December, even in January 2023. All right, guys. So those are three blue chip stocks that I am watching going into this week. I am instructing students on all my positions, my entries, exits, my overall outlook on the market as I see and as we go throughout the week. We do have that link in the description, that $49 promo, our winter promo to join us at Wealthy Mentor Trading. The link is in the description. I hope everyone have a safe week and good luck trading. All right, guys, I'll see you next week.